So, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. I am Merla G. Espinosa, the first reporter of the Group 2. So, our topic is all about budgeting and forecasting. So, the learning objective of this topic is to understand the importance of budgeting and forecasting in financial management. Then, learn how to create and manage budgets. Then, explore techniques for financial forecasting. Then, the topics covered by this is introduction to budgeting and forecasting. That include the definition and significance of budgeting and forecasting in financial management, the role of budgets and forecasts in decision making, then types of budgets. It is the operating budget versus the capital budget, master budget and its components, which is sales, production, cash, and etc. Then flexible budgets and their advantages. Then the next one is budgeting process. In budgeting process, there is the steps in budgeting process, the preparation, the approval, the implementation, and monitoring. Then involvement of various department and stakeholders in budgeting process. Then budgeting methods. It is the incremental budgeting, zero-based budgeting, activity-based budgeting, then rolling budgets, and continuous planning. Then, forecasting techniques. These are qualitative and versus quantitative forecasting methods, time series analysis, regression analysis, and market research and experts' opinion. So, let us discuss about the budgeting process and techniques. So, the budgeting process involves the planning, the development, and management of budget, which is financial plan that outlines an organization expected income and expenses over a specific period of time. Typically a fiscal year. Effective budgeting is essential for financial control, resource allocation, and goal setting. Below are the key steps in the budgeting process and some common budgeting techniques. So when we say budgeting process, nag-involve din ang planning, ang development sa isa ka company, ang management of a budget, ang mag-manage sa budget, which is a financial plan that nag-outline sa organization which be expected in income and expenses over a specific period or typically a fiscal year. So, in effective budgeting is essential for financial control, resource allocation, and goal setting. So, there are some key steps in budgeting process and some common budgeting techniques. But for me, I will be discussing only the budgeting process, and the budgeting techniques will be discussed by the next reporter. So, there are 10 budgeting process. Number 1 is define objectives. So, when you say define objective, is the first step is to establish clear objectives for the budgeting process. These objectives should align with the organization's strategic goals and financial priorities. So, when we say financial objectives is the first step is to establish clear objectives for the budgeting. Kinahanglan nga when magkuang ka og budget, kinahanglan na ay goal. Clear ang inyong pag magbutang og budget, kinahanglan na amoy goal nga kana nga inyong butangan og budget is goal nga na-align sa inyong business or strategic align nga inyong na financial priorities. You have a goal or clear objectives for the budgeting process. So, number 2 is gather historical data. Sa gather historical data, it is the, including this is the past income statements, the balance sheets, and cash flow statements. Sa gather historical data is naadiri ang mga past na ma-income statements, dapat ginagather o gina-collect ang mga historical data sa isa ka company para mas ang kaning data is ma-serve as a reference point for creating future budgets para mas ma-enhance pa or mas makita pa nga asa dapit sa data nga nagkamali ang isa ka company, asa na data in case sa income statements, sa balance sheet or sa cash flow, mas makita nila ang mga past income para pag maghimo sila future budget sa isa ka company, mas makuha na nila, mas ma-detect na nila or mas makuha nila ang mas priority sa budgeting. So, number 3 is sales and revenue forecast. So, define ang objectives, ang gather data. Then, ang 3 is sales and revenue forecasting. Dapat estimate ang future sales and revenue based on market trends. So, dapat kung make or ng product, sa isa ka maghimo kag budget, you need to musabay gali sa trend. Like for example, kung naghimo mo og product, dapat that product is trending sa isa ka community or sa lain na sa community. Like for example, sa trending karon sa tuwa, then you need to create, dapat dili lang na yes, trending ni nga product, kinahanglan daghanon ako ang dapat paghimo. So you need mura galig bana-banaon lang ang projected sales, dapat bana-banaon lang ang kung pila ang himuon para mas makuan, makita kung ang ana di ay siya kahalinon nga product. So makakuan na nimo nga mabudgetan dayon ang isa ka gusto ninyo nga pakuan sa kuan. So, because sales forecasts are crucial input for budgeting. So, number 4, the expense identification. Diri is sa budgeting process, kinahanglan nga i-identify ang mga expenses. Say like for example, sa expenses nga include sa fixed cost. Ang sa fixed cost nag-include na dira is the rent, the salaries of the employees. Then, ang sa variable cost is mga utilities, mga materials na ginagamit sa isa kang company. So, kinahanglang i-identify para mas budgetan sa isa ka expense trillion categories. So, sa number 5, diri is mag-create na og budget. So, create the budget. Develop the budget by specifying the expected income and expenses for each category. So, the main components of budget typically include the operating budget, the capital budget, and the cash flow budget. So, when we say operating budget, na dira ang include ang revenue and expenses related to day-to-day operations, taga-adlaw-adlaw nga budget. Sa kung maghimo og budget, kinahanglan apil ang operating budget, ang capital budget, ug ang cash flow budget. Then, the next one, of the number 6, is budget approval. So, after you create the budget proposal or create the budget, so, we need to present the proposal to relevant stakeholders sa inyong mga seniors, sa mga CEO, mga senior management or the board director for review and approval. So, this step may involve the negotiation and adjustments. Dira makita, imuhang i-present ang gusto nimo nga i-present ang proposal na gusto nimo nga kuan sa budget. Like for example, dili kinahanglan na mag-create lang ng budget without the approval of the senior or the board of the directors. So you need to present the budget proposal before na siya i-implement. So sa number 6, you need to budget approval with your senior management or the board of directors. So after the budget approval, if the management or the senior management or the board of directors is once approved, the budget becomes the financial plan for the specified period. So gi-approvean na sa mga senior management or the board of directors. So once na i-approve, it means na i-implement na ang gusto ninyo na becomes the financial plan. Then, the managers and departments are responsible for adhering to the respective budgets. So, na dira implementation na si manager ug ang departments are responsible for adhering for the respective budget. Sila ang responsible sa pagkuan sa budget, ang si manager o ang department or ang Department of Budget, mga DBM, Department of Budget and Management, sila ang responsible. So, the number 8 is monitoring and control. So, after implementation, you need to regularly monitor the actual financial performance against the budget. Then, i-identify and address any significant variances or deviations. So, adjustments may be necessary to stay on track. So, we need to monitor and control the financial performance against the budget after the implementation. So, sa number 9 is periodic reporting. So, in periodic reporting, you need to provide a periodic financial report to management and stakeholders, highlighting the progress toward budget goals and explaining any significant discrepancies. So, sa periodic reporting, you need to create the financial report every month so that the management and the stakeholders will be highlighting the progress, or ang mga senior management know kung unsa na progress towards sa budget goals na ilahang gi-approve. Then i-explain ang any significance na mga nahitabo with that periodic reporting. So kung when you say periodic reporting, you need to create a financial report every month, then present to the senior management or the board of directors. So, the last is review and feedback. So, sa number 10 is, after the budget period ends, conduct a thorough review to assess the accuracy of forecast and the effectiveness of the budgeting process. So, use this feedback to improve future budget. So, after the periodic reporting, then you need to review and feedback. Then, after that, you need to create if that budgeting process is good or something, like you need to assess the accuracy of forecast, or you need to conduct a thorough review assess in which you can be create or sometimes like you can be find if that budget goals is effective in the budgeting process. Then those feedback is to improve your future budgets. So that's all about my report, sir. So the next reporter may discuss the budgeting techniques.
Good day, sir. I'm Cyrell-Ann and I am the second reporter of this group. So, my topic was all about budgeting techniques and variance analysis. So first, I will be talking about budgeting techniques. So before I proceed to the techniques of budgeting, first I will going to explain what is the most important reason for budgeting. So the answer is it will help you to reach your goals. So the longer term goals are likely the most important ones for your future well-being, but they are also the hardest to stay on the track with. So your budget will help you to stay on track with all your goals and to reach these goals faster. So now, these are the list of budgeting techniques. So first, we have incremental budgeting. In this traditional approach, the current budget is based on the previous year's budgeting with minor adjustments. It is relatively straightforward but may lead to inefficiency in significant changes are needed. So, there is in incremental budgeting. So, it's a budget that is prepared by taking the current period's budget or actual performance and using it as a base and then adjusting it by incremental amounts. So, this is typically accomplished by taking the prior year's for budget and adjusting for some increase in cost. So, the second is zero-based budgeting or ZBB. ZBB starts from scratch. It requiring department to justify all expenses from a zero base. This approach promotes consciousness but can be time consuming. So there is a zero base budgeting or ZBB. So I will ask, what is a zero base budgeting and why is it important? So ZBB is a way to plan how you use each dollar you earn. So this budgeting style can give you more insight in your finances and provides you to flexibility to customize it each month. So in addition, ZBB requires advanced planning, particularly for those with inconsistent income. Third is activity-based budgeting or ABB. ABB links budgeting to specific activities, processes within the organization. It emphasizes cost drivers and resource allocation based on activities performed. So, there is the activity-based budgeting. So, ang ABB is a method of budgeting where activities that incur costs are recorded, analyzed, and researched. So, the main objective of ABB is to cut down on costs. It's an in-depth analysis of expenses and how they may affect a company's performance. So it is important because this gives better insight into both specific and overall operational expenses. Fourth is rolling budget. Instead of preparing a budget for a full fiscal year, rolling budget cover a fixed period or fixed future period. For example is 12 months from the current date. This approach allows for more flexibility and adaptability. So there is a rolling budget is a budgeting process that is updated on a regular, ongoing basis. So rolling budget gradually extend the current year's budget by adding a new budgeting period as the previous period expires, such as anticipating the budget for the next month or quarter. So in addition, rolling budget is continually updated to add a new budget period as the most recent budget period is completed. Fifth is driver-based budgeting. Focuses on key drivers or factors that influence financial performance, such as the number of units sold, production volumes, or customer acquisition rates. It aligns budgeting with operational activities. So, there is a driver-based budgeting. And driver-based budgeting is an approach to company budgeting that focuses heavily on identifying the key venues drivers your business can use to generate more revenue. So, it also provides several benefits to help companies prepare forecasts that account for rapid and unpredictable changes. So, the last is beyond budgeting. So, this modern approach challenging traditional budgeting and emphasizes flexibility, decentralization, and continuous forecasting. It's particularly suited for dynamic industries. So the choice of budgeting technique depends on the organization's goals, industry, and culture. Many organizations use a combination of these techniques to create a comprehensive and effective budgeting process that suits their specific needs. So, there is a budgeting or beyond budgeting. So, beyond budgeting is the principle whereby companies need to move beyond budgeting because of the inherent flaws in budgeting, especially when used to set contracts. So, it is important because this management strategy challenges traditionally budgeting by emphasizing flexibility, decentralization, and adaptability. So the next topic is variance analysis. Variance analysis is a financial management technique that involves comparing actual financial result to budgeted or expected result to identify differences or variances. This analysis helps organizations understand why their financial performance may differ from what was planned and allows them to take corrective actions. So variance analysis is commonly used for budgeting and cost control. So when we say variance analysis, it is a method of assessing the difference between estimated budget and actual numbers. So it's a quantitative method that helps to maintain better control over a business. So here's how variance analysis works. So first is set a benchmark. The first step in variance analysis is to establish a benchmark against which you'll compare actual results. This benchmark is typically a budget forecast or a set of predetermined targets. It represents the expected or desired performance. So next is second is calculated variances. So next, you calculate the variances, which are the differences between actual results and the benchmark budget or target. There are the two main types of variances, which is favorable variance and unfavorable variance. So favorable variance, this occurs when actual results are better than the benchmark. For example, if actual revenue is higher than budgeted revenue, it's considered a favorable revenue variance. So then unfavorable variance, this occurs when actual results are worse than the benchmark. So for example, if actual expenses are higher than budgeting expenses, it considered an unfavorable expense variance. So the third is analysis or analyze variance. Once variances are calculated, the next step is to analyze them. This involves investigating the reason behind the difference between actual and expected result. So here's a key question to ask during variance analysis include. So first is, why did the variance occur? Or was it due to internal factors? Example is ang operational issues or external factors and economic conditions. Next is, are the variance isolated incidents or indicative on ongoing problems? Can the variances be attributed to controllable or uncontrollable factors? Are there any trends or patterns in the variances over time? So the fourth is take corrective action. Based on the analysis, organization can develop action plans to address the variances. For favorable variances, they may seek to replicate the positive factors contributing for the variance. For unfavorable variances, corrective action may include cost reduction measures, process improvements, or changes in strategy. So there is a take corrective action. So why is it important to take corrective action? So because to resolve the root cause of the issue. So in addition, corrective action involves verbal or written communication from you to the employee that are designed to assist the employee in correcting the problem or concern performance, attendance, and conduct. So the fifth is communicate results. So effective communication of variance analysis result is crucial. Share findings with relevant stakeholders including management, department heads, and decision makers. So that transparency in reporting variance helps everyone understand the financial performance and the action required. So the last is continuous monitoring. Variance analysis is an ongoing process. Organizations should continue to monitor their financial performance and regularly conduct variance analysis. This ensures that effective actions are implemented that the financial goals are met. So there is a continuous monitoring, so it calculates and identifying account balance and activity fluctuation automatically to continuously monitor for the risk. So it ensure that effective and timely execution of critical management, review controls, and support agile and decision making.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jane B. Katcha, the third reporter of Group 2. And my topic is about common variance analysis application and rolling budget and forecasting. Common variance analysis application. First, revenue variance analysis. Compares the actual revenue to budgeted revenue, identifying factors driving differences in sales or pricing. So, ang revenue variance analysis is ginagamit ni siya to measure the difference between actual sales and expected sales based sa sales volume metrics o sa contribution margin calculations. Second, expenses variance analysis. Examine variances in operating expenses such as labor, materials, and overhead costs to control expenses and improve cost efficiency. So, sa expense variance analysis, diri gina-analyze, for example, nagpahimo ka mong own business, so diri gina-analyze ang mga expenses, pareha ng mga labor, materials, overhead cost, control expenses. So, diri ang gina-control ang mga expenses, so gina-improve ang cost efficiency. Third is profit variance analysis. Analyzes variance in overall profitability by comparing actual profit to budgeted profit. So, ang profit variance analysis is dire siya gina-analyze ang mga profitability na by comparing actual profit and budgeted profit. So, makatabang na siya to identify areas of concern or improvement sa mga areas na dapat alalahon or ma-improve or ang mga improvement. Fourth is volume variance analysis. Separates variance into ang components related to changes in sales volume or pricing, aiding to understand the driver's revenue and profit changes. So, diri ay gina-separate ang variance into components. So, mo siya is kanang pagbago-bago sa mga sales volume or pricing. Makatabang sa siya for the understanding drivers of revenue and profit changes. Next is time series analysis. Look at variances over multiple periods to identify trends or recurring issues. So ang time series mo siya is makita niya diri nga ang mga multiple periods to identify trends. So, ma-identify ang trends o ang mga nagbalik-balik na issue. Then, variance analysis is a valuable tool to financial management, enabling organizations to track performance, make informed decision, and continuously improve their financial operations. So, sa variance analysis is importante niya sa financial management para makatabang pod sa pag-track sa performance, tas makatabang pagbuhat og mga decision o pag-continue sa pag-improve sa financial operations. Then, rolling budget and forecasting. Rolling budget and forecasting are financial planning management techniques that provide organization with flexibility and adaptability in their budgeting and planning processes. These approaches are particularly valuable in dynamic and uncertain business environments. Here's an overview of rolling business and forecasting. First, definitions. Rolling budget is also known continuous budget and rolling forecast. Our budgeting processes which budget are updated continuously or periodically throughout the year, typically in a month, quarterly basis, instead of creating an annual budget that remains fixed for this entire fiscal year. Rolling budget allows organizations to continuously adjust their financial plan based on actual performance and changing circumstances. So, ang rolling budget, mo ni siya is makatabang ni siya sa mga organization sa pagplano, sa budget, ug sa pag-manage sa mga techniques na gustong ma-achieve sa organization. So, ang organization, ang rolling budget is nag-allow sab siya sa organization mag-continue sa pag-adjust sa ilang financial plans based sa ilang mga performance o pag-change sa mga circumstances. These are the key features. First is flexibility. Flexibility. Rolling budgets are flexible and adaptable to changing business conditions. Each month or quarter passes, organization can revise their budget projections based on the latest data and insights. So, ang rolling budget is flexible. So, flexible and adaptable. Para sa kanang pwede siya magbago sa mga baguhon niya ang kanang mga condition sa isa ka organization each month or quarter passes. So, ang organization pwede nila sila mag-revise og budget projection based sa mga latest data nila og mga insights. Then, continuous planning. Withdrawing budget planning is an ongoing process rather than a once-a-year event. This enables organization to respond quickly to emerging opportunities or threats. So, kung naay rolling budget, ang plano is always ongoing process. So, this enables organization to respond quickly. So, dali ra maka-respond ang isa ka organization sa pag abot sa time na mo usbong ang mga opportunities or threats. So, improve accuracy. Rolling budget often result in more accurate financial projection because they incorporate real-time data and feedback from previous months. So, ma-improve ang accuracy sa rolling budget. It's because kanang they incorporate real-time data and feedback from previous months. So because of that, ma-accurate ang financial projections. Then, kay maglantaw man sila sa kung unsa man ang nakuha na unsay mga feedback ana sa mga niagi na bulan. Then, variance analysis. By comparing actual results to the most recent budget revisions, organization can conduct variance analysis that take corrective action more frequently. So, sa variance analysis, diri is gina-compare niya ang actual result to most recent budget revisions. Organization can conduct variance analysis to take corrective action more frequently. So, ang variance analysis is siya sa isa ka organizations, gamit siya para makakonduct diri siya nagakonduct ang isa ka organization og variance analysis para maka-take og corrective action ang organization frequently. So, ano na siya. Benefits. Enhanced agility. Rolling budget allows organization to adapt to market changes, economic fluctuation, and an unexpected event more effectively. So, ang mga rolling budget is naghatag siya sa mga organization nag-allow siya sa organization na maka-adapt sa market changes. Then, sa mga pagbago sa mga ekonomiya, sa mga wala nilagi expect na mga events na mas effective. Better decision making. So, benefits sab na siya because real-time data is updated forecast enable better decision making as management has access to latest financial insights. So, nindot ang pag-decide or makabuhat sila dali og mga dali nga makabuhat og decisions na sa ilang pag-manage ug maka-access sila sa mga latest financial insights. Next is reduce budgeting fatigue. Rolling budget can reduce the time and effort spent on the annual budgeting process as the focus shifts to regular updates and revisions. So, maka-benefit sa makahatag benefit sa imo because maka-reduce din siya sa imong time and effort nga mas spent nimo sa annual budgeting process. Dili na kaingon na kanang mag-apa sa oras. It's because makareduce siya og time and effort. Then lastly is improve resource allocation. Resource can be allocate more frequently based on current priorities and performance. So ang mga So, improve resource allocation. So, ma-improve ang mga resource allocation. Isa po na sa mga benefits para kay ang resource can be allocated more frequently based on
Good morning, sir. My name is Miljan Isconcardas. I'm reporting about financial forecasting. Definition: financial forecasting is the process of estimating future financial outcomes based on historical data analysis of current trends and various forecasting techniques. It involves projecting financial statements such as income statements, balance sheets, and cash flow statements for the future period. So financial forecasting is morning process sa pag-estimate sa future financial outcomes by examining historical performance data such as balance sheet, income statements, and cash flow statements sa future period for the future period. Next, key features. Driven data. Financial forecasting relies on historical data and statistical method to make prediction about future financial performance. So, ang key feature ang data driven mo ang tag strategic decision are based on the analysis and interpretation of data. In other words, ang company take for advantage sa business to improve their customer and market knowledge. Ug ang financial forecasting daw nag-rely sa historical data para makabuhat sa prediction about sa future financial performance. Scenario analysis. Organization often develop multiple scenario such as base case, worst case, and most likely scenario to account and uncertainties and risks. So, ang scenario analysis is the process of forecasting the expected value of a performance indicator given a time period. Og ang scenario analysis, ang isa ka organization mag-develop og mga scenario to account for uncertainties, risks, and risk. Continuous monitoring. Forecasts are continuously monitored and updated as new data becomes available, allowing organization to make timely adjustment. So, ang continuous monitoring, it supplies most of the information that is analyzed and structured for the forecast by taking advantage of all relevant information sources. Benefits. Strategic planning. Financial forecasting is crucial for long-term strategic planning, allowing organizations to align their goals with anticipated financial outcomes. So, strategic planning is the process of looking into future o mailaila nato ang trends and issues against which to align organizational priorities. Next, risk management by considering different scenarios and risks. Organization can develop strategies to mitigate potential challenges. So, risk management, it's sa organisasyon dili gyud na mawala ang risk sa mga different scenarios. In order to prevent risk, you need to develop strategies to avoid damages and to mitigate potential challenges. Next, investors and stakeholders communication. Accurate financial forecasts provide transparency to investors, lenders, and stakeholders regarding future financial performance. So, investors and stakeholders communication. Investor and stakeholders communication is a multifaceted and ongoing process that requires careful planning and execution. It is integral to maintaining transparency, trust, and positive relationship with those who have an interest in or impact on a company's activities and performance. Next, integrational rolling budget and forecasting. Rolling budget and forecasting are often used together in organizations that prioritize adaptability and real-time financial insights. Rolling budget provides the framework for ongoing financial planning, while financial forecasting offers more detailed projection and scenarios analysis. So, financial planning management practices. Rolling and budget focus on dynamic budgeting and ongoing adoption, while forecasting provide insight into future financial outcomes. By combining these practice, organization can maintain both flexibility and foresight in their financial management process. Integration of rolling budget and forecasting allows organizations to maintain dynamic and responsive approach to financial management, making it easier to navigate a rapidly changing business environment and make informed decisions. Integration rolling budget requires a commitment to ongoing financial planning and adaptability. It enables organizations to respond quickly to changing circumstances, align budget with strategic goals, and maintain financial flexibility for sustainable growth. That's all. Thank you.